Warning, this podcast contains adult language, dark humor, alcohol consumption, and spooky shit. You've been warned, motherfuckers. Are you ready to get spooked?
Welcome to Coast to Ghost, the paranormal podcast that goes state to state, telling the stories that haunt the nation. Drown your fears with an adult beverage as we visit Arkansas in this episode. Pants are optional since they might be scared right off. We're your Coasties. I'm Lindsay from Alabama.
I'm Heather from Ohio.
And I'm Sam from Indiana.
All right, so we are back for another installment of Coast to Ghost. I'm excited. You guys
I'm very excited.
I'm pumped. I think we got the technical shit figured out.
Hopefully.
God, I hope so. Oh shit, my new phone's asking for a password. And I'm like,
oh, goddamn.
Okay. All right, well, I guess I will kick us off tonight. And again, we're starting off in Arkansas. And I'm going to be telling you guys about the Gurdon Ghost Light.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's not an actual ghost per se. It's kind of more of a mystery spot. That's what she said.
It is. Okay, I won't say it.
So, in Gurdon, Arkansas, there is a mystery light that sits near the railroad tracks in the smack middle of the woods. And
as opposed to what other kind of middle?
I mean, you know.
Malcolm in the middle.
Malcolm in the middle. I've met him, by the way.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Aww.
I've got a long list of people that I've met. Anyway.
Okay,
I
Patreon
promise.
episode. Okay.
Yeah.
I see you.
And the Gurdon Ghost Light is known as Arkansas's greatest paranormal mystery. Woo! Gurdon lies 75 miles south of Little Rock on Interstate 30, and the town itself is really small. It's only got about 2,000 people in it, and this area has become the subject of local folklore, and it was even on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries in 1984. So that's exciting.
Spooky.
Now it's a popular Halloween attraction, but let's talk about what it is. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
At the end of the tunnel.
Or in the middle of the woods.
Smack in the middle.
Smack.
Smack that.
Okay, so apparently the Gurdon Light is there at all times, but it's only visible at night. It's basically a bobbling light in the middle of nowhere, and it just floats and bobs up and down. I'm emphasizing that it's in the middle of nowhere, okay?
Is that?
I'm setting the
Is
scene.
it actually like a little glow-in-the-dark bobber, like in fishing?
No.
Okay. The
But-
way you're explaining it.
But that's actually a really good example. Like, you know how fishing lure just kind of sits there and goes
Bobs.
every which way?
Yeah.
That's what it does. Some people say that it's blue, some say green, some say white, some say orange. And it has a distinct border around it as if you're looking at it through a plastic lens. The way that they describe it is it's reminiscent of someone carrying a lantern. So if someone's walking, you know how it kind of swings back and forth? And what's even weirder is everyone says that once you get up to it, it's gone. It keeps moving, and then as you walk, you get to a certain point and you can't see it anymore. Witnesses say that it flashes slowly and floats 1 to 3 feet in the air and then just goes away. And it's been seen on TV and in pictures, and because of that, people don't debate its existence. The question is, what is it? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can see pictures, videos, it's real. One story says that it is the lantern of a real...
I was wondering how long it would take. I'm so glad you messed up finally.
Yeah, whoops.
She's so perfect at talking, and we both like
Are
stumble
you kidding
all
me?
the time.
Did you hear how many times I said and
You know what? You talk with your mouth that's on your face, so you know how
I
to do it.
I mean, where else would she talk from?
My ass.
Some people do.
No.
Okay, so one story says that it's the lantern from a railroad. Why is that word so hard to say?
It's very hard railroad.
Just like Firmus.
Firmus. Yes, these are hard words. Jeez. Okay, take 95. One story says that it's a lantern from a worker who worked on the railroad. I'm just going to skip that word. Who was killed when he fell in front of an oncoming train and was decapitated. And legend has it that he never found his head, and he's searching for it with his lantern.
Shame he never got ahead in life.
I mean,
How is he searching for it if he can't see it?
oh, that's a good point.
What's the light gonna do?
He's just like bent over on his like.
Lanterns help, but
He
so do
doesn't-
eyes.
He doesn't need the light, though.
I mean, he should be like crawling on all fours looking for it.
Unless his head, unless he's carrying the lantern so that his head can see his body when he approaches it.
And he just calls out to it like, bro, I'm over here. Take a right.
Marco.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully he can hear, the footsteps or something, the vibrations. I don't know.
Bless his heart.
No, bless his
Struggling.
heart.
God damn it.
But that is not the only story. So another version says that it is the lantern of a different railway foreman named William McLean. And William McLean, he was definitely real. He was killed in that area during a confrontation with one of his employees in 1931. And there are records for all this. So William McLean fired a man named Louis McBride, and McBride then killed McLean. And there was a newspaper article from 1932 where McBride basically says to the sheriff, I did it because he accused me of being the reason behind a big train accident a few days earlier. So basically his boss accused him of the accident, fired him. He got mad and killed him. He killed him with a railroad spike. So that's really bad.
Oh, that
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah. And there were no witnesses to it, but when he confessed, he led them to the body, and they said that this whole area was they could tell there was a struggle, and there was a whole trail of blood, and all of the evidence covered a quarter of a mile. So they basically fought and chased each other down the road. Now, apparently, according to McBride's story, when he was killing McLean never let go of his lantern the whole time he was holding it. So they wonder if that's what the light is, because he's carrying the lantern. Let me drop that shit.
What's wrong with Sam?
I don't know.
The look on your face, you're like, yeah, that shit tracks.
Yeah, sounds legit.
Why didn't he use it as a weapon?
Hit him over the head with it, set him on
Right.
fire with it,
Right.
and then we're back in Sloss Furnace with the Birdman.
Firmus. Say it right.
Furnace. We're back in
God.
it's Sloss
God damn it.
Furnace. Later, Louis McBride was sentenced to death by electrocution, and he was electrocuted on July 8th of 32. Now, here's where it starts to get good, because interestingly, the Gurdon Light was first documented for the very first time not long after his execution. So the fact that he is saying his victim never let go of the lantern, it actually does track. So they think maybe that's where it started. One of the first reportings of the light came from a man named John, who was a conductor on a train and saw a light that seemed to be basically following the train. And then once it got really close to the train, it just shot up into the air and flew into a local cemetery. So it's like
Nope.
this light was following him.
Did they find out where it landed? Maybe it landed on his grave.
Oh.
They don't know, because
God
he
damn
just
it.
saw it, but he didn't see specifically where it went. If there was a basic, obvious, logical explanation, people probably would have found it by now, because there has actually been a ton of research done on this. The local schools and colleges have come in, Unsolved Mysteries came in, a bunch of scientists have looked into it, and nobody can find an explanation.
Aliens.
So, yeah. In order to get to the light, it cannot be seen from the highway. You have to... What did I write?
I don't know. What did you write?
She's on
I meant to
NyQuil.
put you have to hike, but I put you have to hide.
Well, you probably have to do both.
Yeah, I would say.
But you have to hike 2.5 miles to get to it, and you can see it the best when it's dark, but even more so when it's cloudy or overcast. Now, Unsolved Mysteries was unable to determine what it really was, and neither have scientists, but there are some speculations. And that is, some think that it is from local swamp gas,
Gross.
Okay. Right? But since it appears in all weather, they don't think that that's actually legit because the gas in the local swamps only comes out in certain conditions.
Because people only fart when it's cold? Like, what are they saying?
Okay, not swamp ass. Swamp gas.
Gas, yes. Farts. Gas.
Like actual swamp gas, not like...
God damn it, Heather.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it, okay? I'm an investigator.
Bottom of it.
To the bottom.
Oh, no.
Lindsay, you know where I'm at with this. You got it.
I got you.
I got you, but I just don't understand why we're there.
She said, I got you, but you're fucking nuts.
Next to the bottom.
I love it.
Yes. Okay, continue.
In that taint area.
Ew, gross. Backspace. Rewind. I don't like it.
She said rewind. I don't like it.
You started this shit. Take it like a man.
I could go somewhere with that, but I'm not going to.
With a missing head.
Just wanted some head, just like every other man.
Whew.
With his swamp ass.
So I guess I'll tell Rebecca she can't listen to this episode. She already downloaded it.
Oh, God.
This episode?
No, like the podcast.
She already downloaded this one? That's impressive.
She had pre-screening passes to this episode, so she knew it was coming.
Where's my fucking cut?
It's my side business. I gotta have a hustle.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
We're down to negative listeners.
Well,
I'm
I
pre-screening
know we
them
got
all.
several subscribers today.
Did we?
Yeah, I went through T-Mobile and subscribed to our asses on every phone.
I fucking love you for that.
I love you so much.
I did it on like 5 phones. All my podcasts.
You're like, honey, don't worry. I'm just checking
got
the phones
subscribers
out.
on it. My 10-year-old was like, Mom, don't do that.
That's awesome. Get the fuck away, 10-year-old.
What do you know?
Let mommy work.
Oh, shit.
Damn it. That's awesome.
Anyhow, so some people thought that it was from passing cars on the highway out in the distance, but that doesn't track because it's only one light. If it was headlights, there would be 2. And
That tracks.
unless it's Sam's one frozen nipple from earlier this week.
Why are we
Unless
talking
it's a
about my frozen
motorcycle. I spit out my wine in my hand. And it burned my nose.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna drink in between stories.
Yeah, so you don't spit it out. That's what she said.
Yeah, you gotta swallow that shit. We discussed this already.
Yes.
She's like, that tracks because cars have 2 headlights.
Learn to count, bitches.
Just saying.
Damn it.
Also, they're in the middle of the woods. So,
Smack
know.
in the middle.
smack in the middle, if I haven't said that yet. Just to clarify. And highway lights reflecting through the trees, that's what they thought it was. You know, that they're driving down the highway and it's reflecting through the trees, but, I mean, trees aren't reflective. And they don't bobble and wave. I mean, headlights don't go like this.
I've
you know?
never driven through Indiana roads.
Well. And then also, the first documented stories of it was way before there was even a highway there. Because this started in the 1930s. The highway wasn't built until like several years later. So, a student from Henderson State University researched it and debunked the whole headlight theory by saying that the nearest interstate is 4 miles away and there's a big hill in between. So, if it was because of headlights, they'd have to have been refracted up and over the hill in order to show on the other side. Basically, couldn't happen. He also walked close enough to the highway to be able to hear the cars, and the cars that drove by did not fit with the timing of when they saw the lights. The biggest theory is some think that it is piezoelectricity, from underground quartz crystals, because apparently there's a ton of quartz crystals underneath this area, and the New Madrid fault runs right through the same area, and it puts a lot of pressure on the crystals. And apparently when you squeeze crystals together, it makes like a charge and it can put off a spark. So that's the biggest running theory, because there are crystals there. But what they can't figure out is, if that is what it is, why do they bobble, and how does it come out of the ground?
And didn't it follow a train? Is that what they said? It followed something?
Yeah. Yeah. And so basically all of these theories are somewhat plausible to an extent, but none of them have been able to be proven. So nobody can peg it. The closest thing they've got is the crystals, but they're still, scientists have studied it and they still can't definitively say that it is the crystals. So
when was the most recent sighting of this?
From what I understand, you can see it
like now,
all the
even
time.
today?
Yeah. And it's well documented. Tons of pictures, tons of videos.
That's what I mean. Like, if it's being documented still today, like, I feel like, I don't know, like, so many more people and so much more technology can be used to, like, try and pinpoint what it is.
But that's what almost makes it even weirder, is we do have the technology and they still can't figure it out.
Told you there were spooks out there.
And the thing is it's never stationary. Would crystals do that? Like, if something emits light, would it do that? I don't know.
No, it would just be in the one area where that crystal is, I would think, unless there's magnetized. Is it like?
Yeah, I don't know. However, with that said,
I'm not a rocktologist. I can't tell you.
You're not?
No.
You're fired.
Okay.
Get the fuck off the show.
What
She
use are you?
to the door.
Good for nothing.
I apologize. I will not be back next week.
Yes, you will. I love you.
But a few stories have emerged over the years that people think solidify the fact that it is a lantern or something spectral. And that is, several people claim to have been chased by the light, which sounds like the train conductor. And then it has randomly appeared behind some individuals who walked far enough down the trail. So apparently instead of seeing it in front of them, like, it came from the opposite direction behind them. And then...
Blinded by the light. They tell you not to go toward the light, so if you're running from it, you're doing the right thing. Right?
Don't go towards the light. But if it pops up behind you, what are you supposed to do?
Fucking run! They're doing the right thing already.
Run, bitch, run!
And the last thing is, there are several accounts of people saying that they saw a ghost man holding the ghost light. So...
Did he have a head?
Excellent question. I don't know.
Find it out and then problem solved.
I do not know.
I'm a ghostologist.
Oh, well done.
At least you have something going for you.
I'm coming back on the show, right?
Yes, you're back. You're good. Thanks. You're good. You made up for it. But yeah, really, that's it. Nobody knows what it is, and that's it.
And where at in Arkansas is this?
Gurdon.
I want to be chased.
By a ghost light?
Yes.
/ aliens.
Chase me.
Yeah.
It sounds
So I want to
fun.
know more about the people who saw the ghost, like you. I want to know if he had a head, but...
For real.
Yeah.
And swamp ass.
And what if it is gas? What if it's his gas?
What if it is?
He had a
headless ghost
major burrito beforehand.
Yeah, before he died. And now he just emits gas.
Because
every
he's
night, all the
stuck in
time.
that never-ending loop. What is the purgatory? He's like stuck in this world of like just farting out the gas
And he just
from
has
his
gas
burrito.
all the time, and he's like really
The walking
miserable.
farts.
Yes.
He can't find his head. His stomach hurts.
He's pretty much shitting himself the entire time.
Do they have ghost doctors? Poor guy.
Yes, they have coattails at least.
They have what?
Just coattails. Dr.
Oh,
Coattails.
that's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you can find the doctor that goes with the coattail, he's good. And then
Just-
the toilet lids are up already.
If you can find the doctor that goes with the coattail, I'm done.
As long as they put the toilet seat down, we're good.
See, we got this.
It all comes together. All right, well, that's all I got.
That was interesting. I like that. I need more.
Oh, so this one had my emotions all over the place.
Is this the Allen house?
It is the Allen house.
Oh, you went with it? Okay, good.
It's your masterpiece.
I have a clip for you. I'll send it to you. You can cut this.
Like, there was so much I wanted to put in this thing, but it'd been like 20 fucking pages long.
Mm-hmm. That's how my
There's like 3 books that are out about it. I was crying during the one.
Don't do that.
So the Allen house is located at 705 North Main Street in Monticello. However, it wasn't the original home that was on the property. The original home that the Allens had lived in, it was small, it was brick, it was a cute little house. They moved it across the street because Joe Lee Allen, he was very prominent in Monticello, and she wanted to have the nicest house in town. So with the help of a architect by the name of, whatchamaffuckit,
That's my new favorite line. She said that to me before you got on. She's like, I need to go grab my whatchamaffuckit. And I'm like, oh, okay, very specific.
Got it.
So the house was designed by Sylvester Hotchkiss, and it was built by Josiah Barclay White. And the wood for the house came from Joe Lee Allen's personal lumberyard. And they only used the hearts of 400-year-old oak and pine. He went all out on the
trees. I was a little concerned.
I know.
When the house was completed, it was almost 7,000 square feet. It was 2.5 stories with a full attic, 5 bedrooms, and 4 bathrooms. It was a mix of neoclassical, Gothic, and Queen Anne. So when they moved in, this house was gorgeous, and I'll have to show you the pictures. It was surrounded by this big black iron gate, and it was on the edge of the property. It's fucking majestic. What?
Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing? I want to know if it's the same reason I was laughing.
I'm broke.
Surrounded by a big black what?
I tried to hold it in, and I saw you
I was cracking a smile, and I was like, fuck.
As soon as I saw your mouth twitch, I'm like, fuck, she heard it too.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Dirty.
So sorry, Sam.
God damn it, I don't even know where I'm at now.
I'll tell you where you were at.
Yep, that's it.
I can't stop crying.
Oh, god damn it. So, the family had moved in, so it was Joe Lee Allen, his wife, Caddy, and his 3 daughters, Lonnie, Liddell, and Louie.
Of fucking course. One of those families.
All the L.
Like, Chloe, Courtney, Kim, all the fucking Ks. Now we're doing all the Ls.
Damn. She is like...
Triggered.
Right. Sensitive topic. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
You're something, that's alright.
Fuck them all. Hate them.
The house, of course, has a lot of history. Unfortunately, in 1917, Joe Lee Allen actually died of a heart attack in front of the house while he was demonstrating an automobile for a potential buyer.
Oh.
He was demonstrating it?
Yeah, those cars back in the day, they had like the wind-up engine start.
Gotcha.
It wasn't like one of these cars now where you're like tap the hood and be like, hey.
Yeah.
This puppy's only got 2 miles on her.
God damn it. Continue.
So while the house has a lot of history, what made the house infamous was what actually took place December 25th, 1948.
Christmas.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh.
So.
No.
It's going to be bad.
So Caddy and Liddell, all the other children had moved out. Liddell had moved back home. So they had their annual Christmas party. Music, laughter, all through the house. But something was off with Liddell. Nobody really figured out why. But she had excused herself from the party, went upstairs to the master suite, and she ended up poisoning herself with mercury cyanide.
Oh.
The mercury dealer, he's back. He was showing cars in the driveway.
Fuck.
And now she poisoned herself with mercury?
It was actually easy to get back in the day from the pharmacy because they used it as a topical for like lesions on the skin.
What?
Yes.
Wouldn't that make it worse?
Worse?
It was back in the fucking 40s.
Who
knows
not
what they were?
But we feel like it would make it worse.
I'm not a doctor, but I do a lot of research.
Yeah, I have Google
Same
now.
Thing.
So after Liddell had took the poison, her mother had found her. She passes away the first week of January, and her mother just couldn't handle it. She ended up sealing off the entire master suite. All right, so no one had known why she had killed herself. Her mom sealed off the room. Years passed. When her mom passed away, the house went to her grandson, Carl. He was a doctor at the time, so he put the money together and turned the home into a set of apartments.
Damn, that must have been a big home.
The person who poisoned herself, was it her son?
No, her son had passed away when he was 28 from pneumonia.
Jeez.
So they thought that was one of the reasons why she took her own life, because even though it was years later, she still couldn't handle it. The grandson was Louis's son.
Oh.
So it went to him. He turned him into apartments. That's when some of the paranormal activity started. It wasn't enough for it to scare them away. It was random knocks and cold spots. It was an old house, so they really didn't put two and two together. 1985, the grandson passes away, and his widow sold it to Bill and Bobby Payton. And one of the first things they did was renovate the home, put it back to its original status as a home and not as an apartment. And they actually unsealed the master suite.
Uh-oh.
And it was
let her out.
Yeah. It was as though they had walked back in time. Everything was the exact same as the night that Liddell had died. Her mom didn't do anything different to the house.
So when they turned it into an apartment, they still left that room sealed off?
Yep. The grandson refused to touch that room whatsoever.
Oh, that's right, because he still knew. Okay.
Yeah.
That's their fault. That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
So when they unsealed the room, they walked in. It was as if it was frozen in time. Everything was still the exact same as the night Liddell had died. The plate of hors d'oeuvres was on the table, and when they opened the closet door, there was the bottle of mercury cyanide poisoning there on the shelf still.
What? Wait, on the shelf still? So she didn't drink it all and then she just put it on the shelf I drank enough?
So from what I read, it was these little tablets, and she had put it in her cup of punch that she had at the party, and she put the rest of it back into the cupboard. So they really didn't claim that anything paranormal had happened while they were there. But in 1995, they sold the house again to Vince and Dorothy Simmons. Then in 2007, it was sold to Mark and Rebecca Simmons. This is where the story gets fun, and this is where I get depressed.
Oh, God, please don't cry.
The family that owns the house now, the ones that bought it in 2007, they had just moved in town. The husband was a professor or a dean at a local college, and they saw the house. His wife instantly wanted the house no matter what. Everybody they asked about the house for, they're like, oh, you don't want this house, it's haunted. Oh, you don't want this house, it's haunted. And the wife was like, I don't fucking care, I want it. So they finally get in touch with the woman who owned it, and they bought it from her. One of the first nights they were there, they started experiencing paranormal activity. So their son would be in the living room with one of their other kids or with the husband, and his wife would be upstairs. She would see him walking out of the bathroom. So she would go downstairs and he'd be sitting there, and she was like, how'd you get down here so fast? Yes. And she was like, how'd you get down here so fast? And he was like, I've been here the entire time.
Stop.
Yes.
I would disown that kid and leave.
Nice.
And it also happened to the dad too. So the dad was cleaning up a upstairs bathroom, and then he sees his son walking out of the room. He goes downstairs, his son's sitting at the table, and he was like, again, how'd you get down here so fast? And the kid was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been here the entire time.
Why the kid, though? What?
It's kids. It's always kids. You can't fucking trust them. No.
But a ghost that, turns into one?
No, they always take on the form of, the innocence. So, usually,
like
the virgin or, something like that, so they can take over that host.
I don't like it.
No, me either. That's why I don't like the giggly little kids that are in, the movies and shit.
Nope.
So this is the part that I find so incredible, but it's here, so it must have happened. So one morning, Mark, the husband, wakes up and he just has this compelling urge to go to the attic. And,
oh, no.
Right.
Never have an urge to do that.
So he's trying to resist this urge all through breakfast and everything. And finally he was like, fuck it, I can't resist this urge anymore. So he goes up to the attic and is like, he's drawn to this particular spot, and he looks down and there's like a 2 to 3 inch gap in between one of the floorboards. So he kneels down, sticks a couple of fingers into the hole. God damn it, you guys.
Was it tight?
It was a tight fit.
Score.
I am like 7 years old.
I'm literally like a 10-year-old boy.
I got so excited. I was like, tell me more.
Dude, that reminds me. I was on my way to the museum center today with Courtney. We were on 75, which if you're from this area, it's horrible. And they're always doing construction. So the lanes were like really close together. And I was like, oh, I hate how tight 75 is. And then she just started losing her mind. And I'm like, sometimes it's a good thing. Here it's not. Like, I was freaking out.
Love it.
She's like, I wish I was recording you right now. I'm like, get your phone out. We're not done on 75 yet.
We still got time.
I hate it, though. Lord. It's terrible. Okay, you can cut that. Continue.
So he grabs a hold of it and pulls it out. It's this large, thick, brown envelope. And opens the envelope, and there's a shit ton of letters addressed to Liddell.
No.
This sounds so familiar to me all of a sudden.
So he runs down, grabs a crowbar, runs back up, and, like, pulls open the floor. In total, he finds 81 letters addressed to Liddell. Plus, he finds a bottle of rum.
Did he drink it while he was reading them?
Hells yeah.
No.
She looked at her notes. No.
Good question. Good question. Let me check.
So all the letters came from 1948, and they were all signed by a Prentice Hemingway Savage. As it turns out, these were all love letters to Liddell from Prentice. A little history with Prentice and Liddell. So in 1913, they actually dated for a time, and he had gone off to war, and they kind of went their separate ways. A few months prior, actually I think it was just a month prior to the first letter, he had actually came to town with his wife, and they kind of met back up again. They hung out as a group. They had dinner, so they went back home. He got the urge to write her, and they just start talking back and forth for a little bit. She begins to already sense something is amiss with all these letters. She feels bad that she's writing him that way. He, of course, is like, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Do you have them? Do you have the letters?
I have the book that has all the letters in. There's 81 fucking letters. I'm not reading them all to you.
I would like to read them.
Okay.
Okay.
But the book is called A Haunted Love Story about the Allen House, and it's written by Mark Shepard. He also has another book that has all of the letters that Prentice written.
Did you just have a stroke?
I believe I did. This whole book gave me a fucking stroke.
It's a Firmus writ?
Yep, it was a Firmus writ.
It's filled with oradors. Sam, I love you. You give us.
Just take me to Mordor and throw me in a fucking volcano.
I want to go.
Me too.
I love Mordor.
Oh, okay. So these letters kind of turned steamy.
Ooh.
And he's trying to convince her to meet up with him. Of course, she definitely wants to meet up with him, but they're trying to figure out how to meet up where nobody finds out. And finally, she makes a trip over to, for fuck's sake.
I love that that's part of the promo because she says it so much.
All right, so they finally meet up. They never really specify in the letters what had happened between them, but he would always destroy his letters and send them back to her in pieces. So that was her proof that he destroyed the letters. And of course, she told him she was going to do the same. And he was telling her how he wasn't happy with his wife, that he wanted to divorce her and marry Liddell, the whole shebang. And he just kept putting it off, dragging his feet, saying that he wanted to make sure that the divorce settlement was fair for both of them, for both him and his wife. And she just kept postponing it. She wanted more. He wasn't willing to give her more. And then the letters slowly come to an end. The very last letter he sent to her was on December the 2nd. And he was writing her that he was depressed with everything that was going on, how he doesn't know why she's doubting his love for her, that he wants to buy her like a suitcase and clothes and everything so she can come be with him.
I don't think she wants to third wheel it with him and his wife, though, honestly.
Right?
Yeah, she wasn't having it because she just kept pretty much writing him back. And you can see that from his letters to her that she was wanting to know, when was this shit going to happen? And she was beginning to doubt every single thing he's ever said to her. And she's kind of spiraling down. Like, she was on this high because she was so convinced that he was in love with her, with everything that he would tell her. But he would just contradict himself in every turn. And you can just see that doubt in her mind. And she was going down and down and down and down. And he even started changing the way he wrote his letters. He never signed them like Love Prentice. He always signed them X. And after the last letter, she just went back. She kept going back to the P.O. box looking for a letter that was never there. And they say that that's the reason why she had took the cyanide poisoning, was because she was so distraught over the fact that she was losing him that she could not face it anymore. And the owner of the house, Mark, believed that Liddell was the one that led him to the letters, because she didn't like the fact that everyone was saying that she was an alcoholic, that she just killed herself for no reason at all. He thinks that she felt that she was ready for everybody to know the true story. So Liddell is still seen around the house, even after the letters were found.
So then there's another reason why she's there.
We never really know what happened with, like, Prentice. Did he come back after she killed herself? Did he feel any remorse for what she did? I'm wondering if she's just kind of waiting around for him. But he had died, I think, in the 80s, from what one of the articles had said.
And when did she die? 1948?
Yeah, in 1949. She took the poison in December 1948. She died January 2nd, 1949.
How old was she at that time?
55.
And he lived till like 1980?
Wow. That would have been like in his 90s, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. Damn, he had a long, nice life. I bet it was with his wife.
right?
Damn you, princess.
Her story broke my heart.
I'm glad you
That
didn't
sounds
cry.
so familiar to me for some reason.
It does.
But I'm still concerned about this kid.
Right.
Like, how does that come into play? You know?
There wasn't a whole lot of paranormal activity that they put out there. I watched the thing they did on A Haunting, but no, there wasn't a whole lot when it came to the paranormal activity. It's just the fact that it was like a ghost love story. That's what drew me in. And the fact that those letters, goddamn those letters, I was like bawling when I was reading them.
Yeah.
Because you can just only guess how he drew her in, because all you see is just his letters. We never see any of the ones that she wrote, because of course he always destroyed them. But everything that he ever wrote to her, you can see how she so easily fell in love with him.
And the alcohol. Why was that there? You know? Was it opened, I wonder?
I don't know. I
Like,
think
maybe she went
had
up
it
there to read his letters and, like...
drown her sorrows.
Yeah.
It never really specified. Of course, not a whole lot of the shit ever really specified. The main thing that they always talk about is just the letters. Not a whole lot is known about exactly what happened.
Well, yeah, because look how easily it draws you in. Like, you're, like, so obsessed with this case now because of the letters.
Because because god damn those letters.
I can see the next shirt. The letters. God damn those letters.
Were there letters?
I can't tell.
81 of the fucking letters. But no, even his sister was all for them being together, because she had confided in three. One was his sister, and two were other close friends, and she was all for them being together. And it was
Princess's sister?
yeah,
Interesting.
fucking Princess.
But I mean, like, I can see her, you know, drawing him to the attic and wanting to, you know, say, hey, this is what really happened. But I'm like really hung up on this kid.
He's a
I
fucking
am too.
creep.
There's nothing else about it.
He's a
I
fucking
am too.
creep.
There's nothing else about it.
Like, who is it? Why? Because I again, I can see her being there.
Mm-hmm.
I can see her leading him up there. I can see her still being there. But who the fuck is this kid?
So wait, is the kid, like, the people who were living there was their kid and their kid was doing these weird things, or these people saw this weird kid?
It was a doppelganger of their kid.
So it wasn't even their kid?
It was.
That's right. Okay, so their kid was in one room and they actually saw their
Yeah.
kid in another room. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's fucked.
That's one of the reasons why I was almost deterred away from this story, is because while it is an amazing story, there's not a whole lot of paranormal activity there. But the main story is about Liddell, and that's what drew me into it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it anyways.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty paranormal that someone would get this overwhelming feeling to go up into an attic and, like, I can't do anything else with my day until I go up there
Right.
and...
Yeah, and
mean-
it's not like anything ever indicated or spoke to him before, like, hey, you need to go to the attic to do this, this, and this, and
Yeah.
then he stumbled upon it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
something drew him up there that day.
Yep.
It's weird. Yep, no kids for me, once again.
Did I tell you about the night that Holden was, like, rocking himself to sleep in bed and he was just singing Ring Around the Rosie?
No,
Shut the fuck
no,
up.
no, no, no,
Shut
no, no.
the fuck
Like,
up.
I just got chills just hearing that.
Take out your headphones, Lindsay. I'll go like this when we're ready for you. What the fuck happened, Sam?
You can keep talking, but for some reason that really...
That's
Fuck
creepy.
that.
Your kid, check him out. Make sure he doesn't
kid is
have any,
haunted.
like, hidden shit around the house. Knives.
No, it was, I can't remember. I think it was like 6 months ago or something.
Why that song? Why?
Why?
I think he was learning it in daycare.
No, that's rude.
Can we, like, make that song illegal? Fuck.
Do they know what that song is from? Like, why that song is a song?
It's dead people.
Yeah, like, do the daycare people understand this? What the Black
pretty sure
Plague
she
or
does.
whatever it was, right?
I mean...
Yeah, the Black
uh-huh,
Plague.
Yeah, no. Fucking no.
My oldest used to sleepwalk really bad, and he would get up in the middle of the night and just roam the house. But
No.
you couldn't wake him up if you touched him. He would freak out and start
Stepbrothers.
screaming. But he would just But he would just roam the house and he would turn on lights. He would just walk through the house and just turn on lights.
Get your ass to bed.
It was the creepiest.
You don't pay the
thing.
electricity. Get your ass to bed.
Bye.
Like 6 months ago, I posted it on Twitter, and I was like, it's
Bitch, I probably scrolled past that shit.
never more creepy when your kid is laying there saying, ashes, ashes, all fall down.
Nope. No,
I was like,
no.
what the
I
fuck?
don't like it. I don't like it.
And you've seen how cute my kid is. I was
Yeah,
scared
yeah.
to death that night.
Not
Sue the
anymore.
fucking daycare.
I'm never gonna call him cute again. Nope.
You're cute,
I'm
but you're
done
fucking
with
scary.
him. I am done with Holden. We are done.
Oh my
Can you
god.
deny him his birthday present, Auntie Heather?
No. But right now, I'm not happy with him.
But his present is an exorcism.
Yeah. A cross and some
birthday.
fucking holy water.
The power of Christ compels you.
In the movie The Exorcist.
Oh shit.
Put holy water in a sippy cup.
Mom, this tastes right. Shut the fuck up and drink it.
Poor baby.
You wouldn't be saying that if he was rocking himself singing that to you.
No, I wouldn't.
You'd be like, Sam, get your ass over here.
I was talking about me having to hear that story.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm the poor baby.
Okay, so my Arkansas story is the Peel Mansion. So you did the Allen House, I'm doing the Peel Mansion. So the overview,
Thanks for specifying.
This week we're covering houses.
apparently,
And
No.
Lindsay's covering swamp ass.
Swamp Ass, what was it? Deep in the Wood? No. Smack in the Woods.
Smack in the middle of the woods.
So, according to the article titled 6 Most Haunted Places in Arkansas, via the Haunted Rooms website, I'm just citing it now, Peel Mansion was built in 1875 by Samuel Peel and is now said to be haunted by both Samuel and his daughter, Minnie Bell. Love her name. I'm sure you do too,
Yeah.
Lindsay.
It's like, yes.
I'm going there.
Going. It is said that it is said that Minnie is commonly cited as a woman in white wandering around Peel Mansion, and she is often heard playing the piano just as beautifully as she did in real life. However, it's said that if anyone enters the room while she is playing, then the music will abruptly stop. Which, excuse me, bitch, rude. I just wanted
Not
to hear
before
your.
entering.
I just wanted to hear your angelic ear noise.
Ear noise.
Samuel Peel was at one time a United States congressman and is also said to haunt his former home, and his spirit has been seen in various parts of the house. Peel Mansion embraces its reputation as one of the most haunted places in Arkansas and even hosts ghost walks every Tuesday and Thursday. So,
What
if you guys
time?
want to go. Right around dinner time, because they also give you a dinner. So,
Ooh.
so
Is that Eastern Standard Time or?
where's Arkansas?
She was like, I need details.
God damn it. Okay. It's now called Peel Mansion Museum and Heritage Gardens, so like you guys can decide later whether you think it's really like actually haunted or not, because like it's a museum.
We already have our trip booked, so.
Okay. Okay, is that what you were doing?
She really does.
Apparently.
Where can I buy the tickets?
And is that Eastern time? Okay, thanks. It's located at 400 South Walton Boulevard in Bentonville, Arkansas, which is roughly 31 square miles, with a population of 44,000. It's not that big.
No.
No. Samuel West Peel was born in Independence County on September 13th, 1831, to John Wilson Peel, who was a farmer and a merchant, and Elizabeth West Peel. He had two sisters. Peel was 4 years old when his mother died, and his father left him with his grandparents and moved to Carrollton, which is in Carroll County, making a home on Crooked Creek and remarrying. John Peel and his second wife, Melinda Wilson, had 11 children.
Ooh.
They were busy. So, as a youth, Peel worked as a clerk in his father's store, as well as serving as deputy court clerk to his father. On January 30th, 1853, he married Mary Emmeline Berry. They had 9 children, of whom 8 survived. I don't know what happened to the 9th, yeah.
So he had like 20 kids.
No, so the first one was his dad. The first guy that had 11, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? Yes.
I think. You wrote it.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm confused. Oh, JK.
Was it Uncle Daddy?
No, yeah, his dad had 11, yeah. With his second wife.
Gotcha.
God, you guys are confusing me. And I wrote this. You're asking me questions like I should know this. Oh, fuck. Okay. So Peel was elected as Carroll County Clerk in 1858, 1860, and again in 1862, so, like, he was really well liked. When the Civil War erupted, Peel hid the county records in a burial vault in the cemetery to protect them from Union soldiers. After Arkansas seceded, Peel enlisted in the Confederate Army as a private in Captain James M. Pittman's company. Fellow soldiers elected him major in the 3rd Regiment, Arkansas Infantry. Oh my god, there are too many words. State troops. Peel was in combat in the Battle of Wilson's Creek and the Battle of Prairie Grove. He then joined the 4th Arkansas Infantry Adams Regiment. Oh my god, there's so much. One historical entry records Peel as being in the 4th Arkansas Cavalry. National Archives records show that Peel mustered out at the end of the war as Lieutenant Colonel.
Colonel?
As Lieutenant Colonel in Little Rock.
To be fair, who the fuck spells it that way?
I know. I should know this. I used to work at KFC.
Damn it.
I love it. I should have known it was Kernel. I worked at the KFC.
Please cut that. God damn it. Peel then returned to his home in Carrollton only to find that it was burned down. He retrieved the saved county records, but they were destroyed in 1866 when the new log courthouse broke out in a blaze. What the fuck is up with all these fires in this area?
Yeah.
Is it because everything's made out of logs?
I mean, maybe.
We're in the South, right?
Arkansas.
Arkansas,
Yeah.
It's hot there.
It's hot in
Right
here.
now, drought. Yeah, it's hot in here, too. Lindsay's probably the only one that has fucking air conditioning in that room.
Probably. She's not even going to answer. She's going to be a dick about it.
enjoying my cool air.
She's like, ooh, I'm actually really cold.
I mean, I have a fever, so I am cold. I have chills.
Oh, man. Peel then studied law under his brother-in-law, Judge James Middleton Pittman. He was admitted to the bar in 1865, then moved his family to Hinsville, which is in Madison County, where he opened his own law office. This guy has fucking goals. Okay? He has not stopped. Even with all the kids. And there's a lot of them.
That's exhausting.
Yeah. Like, fuck it, I give up.
Back in the day, they knew how to get shit done.
Right? I'm done. One and
Pumping
done.
that iron.
Right. Oh, God. In spring of 1867, he moved his law office to Bentonville, which is in Benton County. Probably not a great idea, considering where this show takes us. Something bad's gonna happen.
Bum, bum, bum.
His brother-in-law moved his office to Bentonville as well, which is when the two formed a partnership that lasted for 5 years.
I like your little symbol.
You're welcome. Picture? Okay.
You're adorable.
Okay. Moving on. 1873, Peel was appointed as prosecuting attorney in the Fourth Circuit. He was then elected on April 26, 1873 by popular vote and stayed in that position until 1876. He must have been tired, staying in one position for that many years.
Gotta switch your positions up every now and then.
Yeah. Or stretch. Sam's checked out. Oh. Okay, so this is where the good stuff starts. In 1875, Peel commissioned the building of his new 14-room family house.
Oh.
Wow.
God damn.
The Oaks is what he called it. And I always seem to get these. They named it the Oaks because it was surrounded by oak trees. Can you imagine?
Oh,
I could not have put that together.
Just like the
Never
last
saw
one,
that
it was
coming.
crab trees.
that was such an original name.
I know. These guys. So, it's on the National Register of Historic Places, now known as Peel Mansion Museum and Heritage Gardens. The Peels left the Oaks, though, in 1904, moving to 201 West Central Street, which I guess that was important for them to tell us. The exact
I don't
address.
know.
In case you're gonna go.
Right. 1904. It's a long fucking time ago. I don't care.
They care.
Okay. Touche. Now, other things obviously happened between this time and his death, but that's not really important for this podcast because we want to hear about the spooky shit. Yeah? Okay, cool. So, previously mentioned, Peel and his wife, Mary Emmeline Barry Peel, too many names, she needs to cut one of them, raised 9 children in the Italianate Mansion, is what they called it. Peel passed away in December of 1924 at the age of 93. Like, holy fucking shit.
Jeez.
He was that busy, pumped out all those kids, did all those jobs.
Actually, his wife pumped out the kids. He just pumped them in
He
her.
pumped them in her. She pumped them out.
Did they sing Ring Around the Rosie too? Could you imagine 11 of them fuckers singing Ring Around the Rosie?
Oh, my
Done. I quit. They're not my
Not
kids.
okay.
She packs her shit that night and leaves. Mm-hmm.
They're like walking up and down in the hallways.
So today, the Peel Mansion, like I said before, is a museum, and it has period-correct antiques and furnishings. It's surrounded by equally magnificent Victorian garden full of historic roses. Don't know what that means. What's a historic fucking rose? There's either alive roses or dead roses. There's nothing in between, I don't think.
Like rose or like rose?
Roses. Like the flower.
I got nothing. I tried to think of something, but I got nothing.
Yeah.
I
Sam?
don't know.
Okay. Well, fuck us
I was thinking
all.
like rose, like the rows of houses.
Nah.
But Heather just talks like Gollum, and she just says, the roses.
Oh, my preciouses. Don't steal my preciouses.
That's not true. Okay. So it sounds fucking gorgeous. So gorgeous, in fact, that Peel and some of the members of his family apparently loved the house so much that they didn't want to leave.
No.
Can you blame them? No. It's said that the ghosts of both Kernel Peel and his daughter, Minnie Bell,
Colonial.
haunt the house. Colonel, okay? It's Colonel.
Is that like cunnilingus?
Slightly.
Oh, shit.
The staff reports the sounds of the piano playing softly in the parlor, even though there's nobody in the room. They also see glimpses of a woman in white, an upstairs bedroom where a girl can sometimes be heard faintly crying, and visitors are pinched by unseen figures while touring on the second floor.
Or are they pinched?
Probably the booty.
She got so excited. She was like, I'm going.
They didn't tell me. I'm going to say the booty. Apparently, if you visit the mansion today, the landscape has dramatically changed. So, you'll first see the home offices of the Walmart Stores Incorporated.
You know, it's funny that you say that because when you started talking about Bentonville, my first thought was, isn't that where Walmart is headquartered?
How the fuck would you know that?
I don't know. I don't know. Look, I live in Alabama. Walmart is the shit, okay?
It's everywhere here.
That's all we got.
Oh, man.
I'm addicted to the Target.
Look, Target is so much better. But
I'm addicted to the Target. I'm addicted to Amazon.
No fucking regrets.
So, you'll first see the home offices of Walmart Stores Incorporated, as Lindsay mentioned, since she knows all about it.
I'm an expert on the Walmart.
And then
Apparently.
you'll see the historic mansion down the street from that, directly in front of a Walmart store. What?
Okay, little heavy on the Walmart now.
Right. So back in 1875, the entire area looked completely different in the sense that there weren't any offices, there weren't any stores, no surrounding buildings, and the villa-style mansion was like a working farmstead, and it was surrounded by 180 acres of apple trees. Like, fuck you, Walmart. Now, where are all the apples living?
I mean, in Walmart now.
Yeah.
They sell them.
Yeah, but they import them from other states.
Sounds great for them. They just climb the fence at night and they're like, thank you.
Come again. Thank you. Come again. Oh, man. So, several $1 million have been invested in the modern renovation of the mansion. Great care was given to recreate authenticity of the details in the house, so like the antiques and everything the way it looks now. Hidden in some of the walls were patches of the original wallpaper. That's kind of dope. I would like to see that. Excuse you?
I was chuckling.
She got so offended.
I did. I really liked that little aspect, okay?
My bad.
Using scans of those patches, some of the rooms now contain the exact design of the wallpaper that was originally installed, including Mrs. Peel's parlor that was papered in her favorite color, pink. There you go, Mrs. Peel. During the renovation, it was discovered that the Peel's bedroom floor was painted blue. Today, the floors match the original color. The Lincoln rocking chair in the bedroom also belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Peel. The rocking chair was named after the same type of chair President Lincoln was sitting in the night that he was shot. Weird. The beautiful interior of the house was furnished with authentic era pieces generously on loan by the Historic Arkansas Museum in the Old State House. As you walk through the rooms, you get a glimpse of life in the 1800s, which is really, really cool. Members of the Peel family donated or loaned various pieces that belonged to the family to keep inside this museum so that people could tour it. The white and gold china displayed on the dining room table were the same pieces.
Penises?
The same pieces the Kernel used during his service in the Congress. I can't.
She laughed before she
I can't
said
look
Kernel.
at it anymore. I'm gonna have to start spelling it with a K.
Kernel. Kernel.
Like a popcorn.
We'll see her
kernel.
nose and be like, where the fuck did you go to school?
Google.com. What's it to you?
The KFC.
KFC. Fuck you, Sam.
Yeah.
As you walk through the boys' bedroom, there is the original rocking horse, Bucky, that was used by the Peel children, which is fucking freaky. Get that fucking thing out of there. And it has been passed down through 4 generations of the family, and you can see it was well loved. Probably because the ghosts are still riding on it, motherfuckers. That's why it looks like it's still loved.
for sure.
Right?
What the fuck? Okay, so that's all I have about that, but little bitch cries in the room and, like, plays the piano. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's all that happens, and then people get pinched, but I don't know. So I have a clip that you can add in wherever you want. It tells a little bit more about the Peel mansion, and it's like an old lady sitting in the rocking chair telling the guy about it, like, in an interview. It's so cute.
And she's like hopping up and down.
Well, she was rocking.
She was doing something.
But that's all I have. That one wasn't too in depth, but like if you watch that video, it's like 22 minutes, but it has clips in there from like the Allen House, the Peel Mansion, and like 4 others. It's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
But that's all I have. That one's less spooktastic than the others.
And now Heather had a stroke.
It's called wine.
I know. I started drinking at like 4 today.
Don't worry about when I started. It was 1 o'clock.
To 1.
to 1 o'clock today.
See, I didn't drink because I'm just doped up on medicine. But it has the same effect. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming to our Dead Talk. Put your pants back on and sober up because next time we're digging up the ghost in California. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Michael, host of the Murder Mile True Crime Podcast, which was nominated as one of the best British true crime podcasts of 2018, is based on my 5-star rated guided walk, and features more than 300 untold, unsolved, and long-forgotten murders, all set within 1 square mile of London's West End. So if you love hearing about new cases for the first time, old cases through a fresh pair of ears, and classic cases with a twist, all researched using the original declassified police investigation files, written using first-hand accounts, and recorded using authentic sounds from the murder location itself, then Murder Mile is just for you. Download the Murder Mile True Crime Podcast on iTunes, Acast, or your favourite podcast platform every Thursday. Thank you for listening, and stay safe.